Okay, so we've done the AFC already. Now let's take a look at the breakout candidates for the NFC. Let's start with the East and the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, for Dallas, I went with Mozzie Smith, and Mozzie Smith is a player that needs to have a breakout season this year. In his first 2 years in the league, he hasn't really shown a whole lot to the Dallas Cowboys coaching staff, and really this is a make or break year for him. If he doesn't have a good season this year, he might not be on the Cowboys roster next year. This is critical for Smith. He has to show that he is developing, so this is my pick for the Cowboys. It was an easy one to select. For the New York Giants, I think this is going to surprise some people, but I did not go with Abdul Carter only because it's tough for pass rushers to really break out in their rookie year. And with Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau there, I think he's not going to get as much opportunities as probably other third overall picks would get. And Tyler Nubin going across from Javon Holland in that safety room. He'll be the starting strong safety. Holland's going to be the starting free safety. I really like Nubin's chances of breaking out this year. He was a second-round pick last year. He started 4 games. I like Tyler Nubin's chances of having a really good season for that Giants secondary. And if he does have a good season, combined with Holland living up to the deal that he signed, the Giants can feel better about the secondary. Sticking with the secondary, but going on the corner side of things, Quinyon Mitchell, the Eagles' first-round pick from last year. Now, the Eagles won the Super Bowl. However, Darius Slay is no longer there, and Mitchell's going to be stepping into that role. And Mitchell was the top corner in last year's draft and somehow fell out of the top 20. That's just something that you couldn't make up at all. And the Eagles got him, and I think he's going to have a big season this year. Yeah, I think the league is really regretting the Eagles getting Mitchell in last year's draft. For Washington, I have another 2024 draft selection. It's Johnny Newton. Johnny Newton could have easily been a first-round pick last year if it wasn't for some health concerns. And with Jonathan Allen now not there for that Washington defensive line, somebody has to step up at defensive tackle. And I'm willing to bet that it's going to be Newton that steps up. I think he has a tremendous ceiling, and I think he starts to show that this year on that Washington defensive line. I think he's going to have a good season. For the Bears, I decided to not go with Caleb Williams. I have another pick in mind for the NFC quarterback. I went with Rome Odunze, and the reason I went with Odunze is twofold. One, him having a breakout season is going to help out Williams a whole lot, and number two, Keenan Allen is not a Bear right now. He is still a free agent, so Odunze is going to be stepping into that number 2 role. I think he's going to thrive there. Really, if it's not for DJ Moore being the number 1 guy, I think you can easily think that Rome Odunze takes a number 1 role in the Bears wide receiver room, but Moore is there. He's the number 1 guy. But Odunze, I think, is going to be a great number 2 to him. I wouldn't be shocked, really, if he had at least 80 catches, 1,200 yards, maybe 8 touchdowns. I wouldn't be shocked if he has a season like that, and I think Bears fans would be very happy with that. For Detroit, I got Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell was taken in the first round in 2023. You could make the argument he had a breakout season last year, but I think he takes his game to the next level. I think he's going to be a Pro Bowl selection in 2025. Really show that he is one of the top linebackers in the NFL right now. So very high on Jack Campbell. I also went the linebacker route with Green Bay and Edgerrin Cooper. Cooper was taken in the second round last year. Got a lot of playing time as a rookie. In fact, he actually had 3.5 sacks at the linebacker position. I think he's going to step into a starting role this year and just take it. I think he's going to be a great player for this Packers defense this year. That the Packers, they're going to have big expectations, and they are not going to want to go 1-5 in their division again this year. And I think Cooper is just going to play a big role in that. So yeah, Cooper, linebacker for the Packers. That's my breakout candidate. I got my first rookie for the Vikings. This is going to be Donovan Jackson, their first round pick out of Ohio State. Offensive guard. So why am I going in an interior offensive lineman as a breakout candidate? Well, twofold. One, I love picking interior offensive linemen as a breakout candidate when they're a rookie. I think when you have a guy on the offensive line that can break out as a rookie, it really feels well because you know that they're going to be there for at least the next few years, and also you know you can depend on them to not only protect your quarterback, but also open up holes in the run game. And I really like Jackson in a Vikings uniform. So, yeah, that's why I went with this Donovan Jackson as the Vikings breakout candidate. Okay, here's my quarterback, Michael Penix Jr. for Atlanta. I'm going to say this right now. If Atlanta had better quarterback play the last 2 years, they make the playoffs. It's that simple. They win their division with better quarterback play. And Michael Penix has everything he needs to be a good quarterback this year. That's all Atlanta needs. They just need good quarterback play, consistent quarterback play, and they will win the division. He's got a good offensive line. He's got Drake London, a bona fide number one receiver in this league. If Kyle Pitts can actually get his potential, if he can actually live up to his potential, he'll be a really good target for him at tight end. And you got Bijan Robinson, who is one of the best young running backs in this league. Penix has no excuses to not succeed this year, and he showed that he can play good football in the NFL in his limited time last year. So I am definitely going to go Michael Penix. And again, if he breaks out, don't be surprised if Atlanta ends up winning this division. Trayvon Wallace, linebacker. Not the player I guess anybody really expected from the Panthers, but he started 8 games last year, and the only other player I really thought of as a breakout candidate was Bryce Young, and I went with him last year. So Wallace is the guy. I think he's going to take a starting linebacker role and just hold it for the rest of the year. I think he's going to be a good player this year for the Panthers. Talise Fuaga, tackle for the Saints. This one was just one of the easiest picks I could have made. He breaks out, and the Saints have one less thing to worry about. And whoever's quarterback is going to be happy that he's there protecting them. Look, the Saints' offensive line was one of the best a few years ago, and now they need to be in a little bit of a reload, and Fuaga, he's going to be the first thing that comes in mind when you have that, especially at the tackle position. So this one was just way too easy. I mean, there was no reason not to pick him. That is who I went with for the Saints. Logan Hall is in a contract year and has an opportunity to have a terrific season because of this Tampa front seven. Think about it. You have Kalijah Kancey. He had a breakout season last year. Vita Vea might be the best nose tackle in the NFL right now. Hassan Reddick just signed a 1-year deal. We all know how dominant he can be as an edge rusher. And then Yaya Diaby could have double-digit sacks this year. With Hall, he had 5.5 sacks last year, more than doubled his career total, and now he might have an opportunity to have more favorable matchups go his way because of everybody else on this Tampa front seven. So he really has an opportunity to, again, have a big season and maybe cash in on a big contract in free agency. You never know what's going to happen. Contract years, don't ever doubt them. Logan Hall is my pick for Tampa Bay. All right, for Arizona, I wanted to go Paris Johnson Jr., but I went with him in 2023 as a breakout rookie candidate. So I'm going to go Max Melton. Their corner that they took in the second round last year out of Rutgers after a great career. This was too easy. Melton, I think, has a very high ceiling. I think he can be a very good corner in this league for a long time. And I think that starts this year. I think he's going to take a starting corner job and never let it go. All right, my second rookie is Terrence Ferguson, the Rams' second-round pick. The reason I went Ferguson is because the Rams really don't have a starting tight end right now, and Ferguson has an opportunity to take that starting job and become the security blanket for Matthew Stafford. With a veteran quarterback, a tight end security blanket is their best friend. And I really don't doubt the Rams when it comes to offensive players, and Ferguson had a great career while at Oregon. I just think this was just too easy of a pick for me to make. I mean, you have Sean McVay combined with a guy that did terrific things in college. Yeah, it was just too easy of a pick for me. I know it's a little unorthodox, but I definitely think Terrence Ferguson can be a breakout rookie for the Rams. I went with 3 linebackers already. Let's go with the 4th. D. Winters for the 49ers. Dre Greenlaw is no longer there, so they need another Robin to Fred Warner's Batman, and that's where Winters comes in. He could have a big season for them, helping out Fred Warner and taking a lot of pressure off of him. And Winters, he has done some good things already in his young NFL career. He has a chance to take it to the next level. So He's going to have a great opportunity, and I think he's going to take it. Okay, for Seattle, this one was way too easy. It's Byron Murphy. I think everybody's going to go with Byron Murphy for the Seattle Seahawks to have a breakout season. Last year's first-round pick, really one of the top defensive players in last year's draft that fell just because of how good the offensive class was last year, and they fell right into Seattle's hands. They took him, and yeah, I like Murphy a whole lot. I think he's going to do great things for them in the run game. Yeah, this is a very good defensive tackle. I think he's going to be a disruptive force, and I think every defensive coordinator is going to have to game plan around him to make sure that he is not disrupting them at all. Alright guys, those were my picks for breakout candidates in the NFC. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Who would you pick as a breakout candidate? And for my training camp previews, I'm going to start getting those together, and I will let you know when I'm going to start recording those after my next video, which is going to be talking about the Maryland rookies. The rookies from the University of Maryland. Why am I doing that? Well, I'm still a writer for Inside the Black and Gold, and after having 6 draft picks this year, I think it would be a good video to talk about with each pick, and even the 2 undrafted players that they had that signed with NFL teams. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.